This is truly funny. Uh, Zionists are complaining about Iran using its right to self-defense after being attacked by Israel, and they're complaining about having to shelter and bomb shelters and other places, how Iran is attacking uh, population centers and stuff like that, and people on social media are not caring about it because they're being hypocritical about what they've been doing to other nations. And I just love it because nobody really cares that Zionists are complaining because this is what they have been doing to other nations. This is what they've been doing to Gaza and Palestinians for 2 years. This is what they've been doing to people and the West Bank, and now they want to act like they're victims when they've been the ones to start attacking people first.
Iran has been hitting back at Israel after Tel Aviv launched unprovoked strikes on Iranian territory on June the 13th. Now, pro-Israel accounts are outraged that Israeli civilians have been hit by Iranian missiles, but social media users are calling out the hypocrisy.
Let's see, idiot, you said jack all when Israel destroyed Gaza civilian hospitals. The Zionicity of the genocide apologist. That's hilarious. Civilian, used by the IDF, Israel has been bombing hospitals across Gaza for months, and just a few days ago you bombed one in Iran. Did you forget, or does that not fit your propaganda? Yeah, you can't complain about a hospital in Israel being bombed when Israel has been bombing hospitals and continues to bomb hospitals. The hospital is located next to an IDF military center. Maybe it shouldn't be built next to it. Stop playing the victim card. So shut up with your false flag BS. Yeah. What one of Israel's justification for bombing hospitals was that they were quote unquote uh, actually like hidden military complexes and stuff ran by Hamas military. Well, yeah, same with Israel. Why, why, why have military bases in densely populated areas if you don't want that populated area to get attacked?
These same pro-Israel voices have cheered on far worse Israel
Okay, let's go back to that.
hypocrisy. These same
Okay, by Dr. Simon Godet. Dead Palestinian kids, good. Dead Israeli kids, bad. Got it. And this is by the Misfit Patriots. I'm okay with as many dead kids as it takes to stop Hamas. You pray innocent children die? Yeah, so the dude who was saying he's okay with as many dead kids as possible is not complaining about Israelis dying. Like, that is extreme hypocrisy, because how can you be okay with as many dead Palestinian kids, but not with Israelis dying?
Same pro-Israel voices have cheered on far worse Israel's relentless bombing of Palestine's Gaza, where entire neighborhoods, hospitals and refugee camps have been targeted and destroyed. Zippy Hotovely, Israel's ambassador to the UK, complained about her elderly parents having to go to a shelter due to Iranian strikes. Ex-users were
She squealed with delight when millions of people's lives were ruined. Literally squealed. Now she's crying tears because her parents had the fortune to go into a bomb shelter after she and her government started another war. Are these people for real? Yeah, nothing but hypocrisy. Yeah, no one's gonna cry about your parents having to go to a bomb shelter after you and your government decided to attack another nation and been genociding people for almost 2 years now.
quick to condemn her hypocrisy, posting clips of a TV interview during which she said Israel had a right to hit every civilian building in the besieged enclave because they contained Hamas tunnels.
Funny enough, what after Tel Aviv was hit, the Israeli government said that They're sending people into a bunker underneath a hospital. So every accusation by the Israeli government is a confession by them.
Online, many people are saying that Israel is finally getting a taste of what it dishes out. Others are mocking Israelis' lack of self-awareness. Here's one such example that's gone viral.
Why is it always the Jewish people? We didn't do anything.
The internet did not hold back, with many people pointing out that Israel initiated the attacks on Iran and has been continuously assaulting Palestinians for 20 months. Some users also pointed out how Israeli social media has consistently mocked Palestinian suffering in Gaza.
Yeah, because the Israeli government and their military has like social media accounts where they post videos of them cheering about like killing innocent people and bombing various neighborhoods in Gaza and the West Bank, and they're all gleeful and happy about it. These Zionists are truly insane. And not all Israelis in Israel support what the Israeli government is doing. There are a lot of them that are fighting against their government, wanting them to stop because they actually want peace between Israel and Palestinians. But it's the Zionist right wing government that is forcing them into being in this situation. It is all because of Zionist fascism that this is going on. And also, uh, this parody video mocking Israel is just hilarious. I saw it being posted on Facebook and stuff.
Parody video mocked Israel's standard justification for bombing civilian buildings in Gaza and Lebanon, joking that Israel had hidden a rocket system inside a civilian apartment complex in Tel Aviv.
Hey, if the Israeli government can use the justification that every single civilian house and building and any other building in Gaza is a legitimate target because supposedly they're all housing Hamas, well, then every other nation can use the same justification against Israel and just make up claims that every single building in Israel is housing something military.
Flipped Israel's own script, alleging that Hamas hides weapons in hospitals and other civilian infrastructure. The twist? A prominent Zionist X account shared the video unironically, missing the joke and inadvertently.
Iran attacked a residential building complex in Tel Aviv. After cheering the attack on civilians, they shifted the narrative and released this video claiming that Israel stores F-35 planes in residential towers that look like those in charge of their propaganda are dead too. That's funny because, yeah, that is what the Zionists do. They make up claims that any building that they bomb is holding Hamas military. So Iran is, yeah, flipping the script, saying the same thing about Israel, and now they want to cry about it.
Proving the point. A Palestinian analyst pointed out that Israel's own logic.
How do you know there was no IDF reservist or Likud member in that building? Can you 100% prove that there was not at least one pistol or rifle in the building? Because those are literally your army's pretext to carpet bombing entire neighborhoods in Gaza. Yeah,
Logic for targeting civilians in Gaza could apply to its own actions. Footage shows Israeli soldiers sheltering in schools and hospitals with civilians.
okay, reminder, Israel's Mossad HQ is in a densely populated area in Tel Aviv with civilians around it. By US Israel's own logic, this is human shielding and everything in Tel Aviv is a legitimate target or collateral. Insane, right? That's their main argument in Gaza. Yeah, that's the argument that Israel uses to justify killing civilians, and Israel is doing the exact same thing that they accuse uh, Hamas and Palestinians of doing, which, under their own logic, means that any building where uh, the IDF is holding up is a legitimate target, but they would cry about it and act like they're victims if they were attacked.
Civilians during Iranian missile strikes, making those sites legitimate targets by Israel's standards, critics point out. Some went a step further, highlighting that 60% of Israeli civilians serve in the army, meaning that most Jewish Israelis aren't actually civilians.
Yeah, Israelis are forced to join the military at the age of 18, and if you say no, they will jail you until you say yes to joining the military, which, in my opinion, shows how fascist the right wing Israelis are because you don't have the freedom to say no to joining the military, you're forced to.
This is reinforced by Israeli law, which makes it compulsory for citizens who have served in the military to serve as reservists until the age of 40.
And pro-Zionists will justify the forced recruitment of 18-year-olds by saying, well, every other nation around Israel hates them, so they have to force the people into the military. Like, no, they do not have to force anyone into the military, but they do because the right-wing Israeli government is fascist.
Are Israelis starting to understand why global sympathy for them is in short supply? Are they able to recognize the hypocrisy?
The peak of hypocrisy is Israel whining about Iran hitting population centers after nearly 2 years of bombing, starving, sniping, and obliterating Gaza. Yeah, you can't whine about your own cities being attacked by a nation using its right to self-defense when you have been genociding an entire population for almost 2 years.
That has shaped the world's perception of them? Are they now waking up to the terrible suffering they've inflicted on Gaza for nearly 2 years? Will they finally acknowledge their continued strikes on Syria, Lebanon, Yemen, Gaza, and now Iran aren't the actions of a victim?
Yeah, what the Israeli government is doing is definitely not the actions of a victim, a group of a government uh, actually defending itself with its right to self-defense. The Israeli government has been continually attacking people left and right, and then screaming that they're the victims because they're Jewish. No, people aren't fighting against the Israeli government because it's a nation of Jewish people. People are fighting against the Israeli government because the Israeli government continually attacks other nations around them, and then they like to scream that they're victims. It doesn't work that way. You can't burn down your neighbor's house and then cry victim because it just